Welcome to Confessions of Being Fabulous, where we live, we learn, we grow. I apologize for the background noise. Today is a snow day. Well, technically, it wasn't a full snow day, it was a half day. And my son is home. So I was supposed to have like a nice chunk of the day to go about my day. And instead, I had to pick him up early from school, hence the background noise. So I apologize in advance. But I thought to myself, I'm like, well, do you not do your Friday video? Because I'm supposed to be doing videos on Fridays. And I'm like, nope, we're going to do this video. So if you truly can't stomach what you're hearing in the background, I respect if you turn the video off. But if you can stomach it, I'm just going to keep going. But anyway, today's video will be quick. I had promised a friend I would talk about this, your perspective, and how that can make or break your entire day, your entire week, your entire month, your entire year. How are you looking at the things that are happening in life? Are you experiencing something that you don't like and you are hyper focused on the negative aspects of that thing, or you're hyper focused on the what if it went this way, or you're hyper focused on how did I get here? Like all of those types of questions. And if you are, I just want to take a moment and acknowledge that I get it. I get it. Because especially if we go about things in a way where we've planned, we have things that we've accounted for in our plans. We've had buffers put in, like we've taken all of these steps so that we don't have to experience pain, because that's what we're really oftentimes trying to prevent. We don't want to experience pain as humans. But after all of that, you're still here. I get it. But I would like to offer, if it's okay, can I offer some words? May I? May I? I forgot I have pizza in the oven. All right, I'm going to have to pause here, but I'll be right back. And we're back. Sorry about that. Snow days. And we literally just got home not that long ago. That's why I still have my hat and everything on. As the day goes on with him being home, it's just going to get worse. So I need to do this now, regardless of how I look. But anyway, so perspective. I was saying I get it. And I get why you may be in a space where you may feel sorry for yourself. You may just feel the thickness of it all, the negativity of it, because it's heavy and it feels worse, I think, like I was saying before, when you've taken measures to like not be in that place and then you still end up in that place. So I want to start by saying I get that and I get you. I feel like it's important for people to, know that they're seen. I feel that way sometimes. I feel misunderstood a lot, actually, about a lot of different, well, not a lot of different things, about certain types of things. I feel misunderstood. So if you're anything like me, it feels good to just know that somebody like can appreciate where you're coming from. So that's why I went through that blurb. That being said, though, I want to encourage you to try something different. And trying something different doesn't mean that you have to abandon methods from your past as far as how you cope, or even, hey, if you just want to sit with your negativity for a minute. I've heard people say that. I get that too. It's your life. So at the end of the day, do what you do. But if you are in a space where you feel like this is now serving as a block that's not allowing you to get from here to here, or it's serving as a block that is not allowing you to be as productive as you might want to be, or if it's serving as a block that's not allowing you to make human connections with either people in the marketplace, if you're in business, at your job in corporate America, if you're looking to network internally more, or even here at home, with your home, of course, with your children, your spouse, your significant other. So I feel like there are other reasons that you might be looking to try something different. And if any of those things pertain to you, then consider looking at this in a different way. So, one way to change your perspective, if you choose to do so, if you choose to um, jump into that reality, is to literally start to list out the other side of whatever happened. And so I'll be a little transparent on my end. That's what this is all about, confessions of being fabulous. So I have to share a little bit of my life inherently. And so not too long ago, I was in a relationship and now I'm not. So I was kind of distraught about this. Didn't see, the ending of it all coming. It just kind of happened. And I was really upset, to be very, very honest with you. And it's still pretty fresh, so I won't even lie. I'm still kind of going through. But what I won't ever let anybody do is slow down my purpose, slow down, me being able to focus on the things that I'm supposed to do in this life, slow down me spending quality time with my son. Nobody gets to have that much control over my life. So I had made a decision like, all right, we got to flip this some kind of way. And so I basically just started looking with a spiritual lens at the other side of what had happened. So on one side, I'm looking at the fact that, I've invested all of this time with this person. We've spent all of this time together. I just recently introduced him to my entire family, and now I'm embarrassed because we're not even together. Like all of these things. And Big O, we had spent time together with our families. They also had children. I have a child. And that was probably the biggest thing of all. Like, I never wanted to have to do this as a single mom. I never wanted to have to do this more than once. I wanted there to be one introduction to one man, and then that man ultimately is the one that I would marry. And then, my son wouldn't have to be subjected to mommy's several boyfriends. So I'm not saying that it's going to go down like that. Prayerfully, it won't. But I was majorly disappointed that, this happened and now we're not even together. Anyway, so those were the heavy things. It's heavy even now, talking about it, thinking about it. But on the flip side, one day I started to look at this through a spiritual lens. And I thought about how I had just prayed like about 3 weeks before this whole thing happened. I had prayed to God some very specific things. And part of that prayer included me drawing closer to him, including in the context of my relationship. Like I wanted to have, a whole life, including my relationship, that really pleased God, and a life that allowed me to honor God, and a life where whoever my partner was going to be in this season, like I wanted it to be purpose driven, like I wanted it to be something that, I don't know, like as a result of us being together, like some sort of purpose that God has is being fulfilled. This was my prayer. And I prayed this prayer because this is already my personal desire. This is what Confessions of Fabulous is all about. My law firm and the stuff that I'm going to be doing in 2024, like everything that I'm about is purpose driven. I'm a purpose driven person. I'm not just out in these streets doing anything just for the sake of doing anything. It's because there's a calling on my life, and there's an assignment that has been given to me long time ago. And even when I didn't always have the clarity around the exact ness and the specifics of that assignment, I've always been clear that I am on assignment. So frankly, anyone that's in my life, they kind of need to be moving the same way. They kind of need to be, aware of their assignment, and not just willing, but it's almost like second nature for them to move and to operate within their assignment, to, pray that God give them the wisdom to fulfill their purpose, and so on and so forth. And so when I looked at this through spiritual eyes, I started to realize, change my perspective. I'm like, you know what? Maybe this actually is God answering my prayer, because I was looking at it like, this thing happened to me. And when I shifted it, I'm like, I think maybe it's happening for me. Because now, if you're with someone and you're not necessarily on the same page with respect to purpose, that can be kind of I don't know, the beginning of the end, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it would have ended anyway, because this one person is moving in faith. This one person is, carrying out whatever it is that God is telling them to do, whether that's financially. I may be asked to sow a financial seed into the church that I go to. I may be asked to sow a financial seed into someone's life. I may be asked to just do a number of things that don't make any sense. They don't make any common sense, but because it's from God, I'm at a space in my spiritual walk, I'm going to just do it. I'm going to just do it. No questions asked. And I don't know if that person is quite there yet. So this isn't me saying that they are or they aren't. Only God knows. But perspective, I started to look at it that way. And I'm like, well, maybe certain ways that I kind of want to move, I could just move now. And I won't have to feel like, I need to walk on eggshells, or I won't have to feel like, this person is going to be scared because of these, series of actions that I've taken. And all of this is relevant because, let me just say this, depending on where you are since we're talking about dating and boyfriend and girlfriend and so on and so forth, I'll just say this. People are at different places where maybe what the other person thinks doesn't matter. And then you may be the opposite, where what you are doing in your life and the decisions you're making, they do matter because you're looking to build. So I will say that me and this individual had decided that we were ready to build something. And so that means that, decisions are not just made in a vacuum. Some of them 100% are made, without talking to the other, because we weren't necessarily there yet where we were like getting permission to make decisions the way you would in a marriage maybe. But there is a certain level of like consideration. So I feel like I had to shift my perspective. And I'll also say that just because your perspective shifts, it doesn't mean that the new perspective is exactly what it is. But it's a new way of looking at the circumstance so that you could feel better. Because once you feel better, I find that you do different things. You do better things. You do whatever it is that you need to be doing so that you can proceed with your day, your life, your adventure. And it was helpful. And so I think that anytime you can identify a new story, and that new story is going to allow you to do the things that you need to do, I would just adopt that new story. Now, it doesn't mean that this new story has to be, vetted and proven to be factual. I don't know. I can't talk about somebody else's relationship with God for sure. I don't know. But it certainly felt good for me to think that, oh, wait, this is God looking out for me because he loves me that much. Like that just feels good. I have a smile right now just saying it. Like it just feels good to say that. So I have become in my life an expert at figuring out ways to change my state of mind. I don't always do it as quickly as I might want to. And sometimes maybe we shouldn't rush to change our feeling state, because if we sit with our feelings, we can learn some things, and that's important too. Like really figure out, okay, why am I feeling this way? Why is this hurting so bad? Why, all of those answers can reveal some things about your emotional life, which maybe you need to know. But outside of that, sometimes you just want to feel better. Sometimes you just need to feel better because you have things to do. And that's how I was feeling. Like, all right, I have things to do. And then, frankly, somebody that's not willing to stick it out with me, because I know what I bring to the table, then, frankly, they're just not worth my time. They're not worth tears. They're not worth energy. They're not worth none of that. So, if you have anything in your life that looks a little bit like that, and you got to get back to you, get back to your day, get back to your productivity, get back to whatever it is that you're supposed to be focused on, consider shifting your perspective. And what also happens is when you shift your perspective, it now allows you to have an opportunity to critique you, because now you feel a little bit better. So you might say something like, what role did I possibly play in me ending up here? Like, how did I arrive here? And if I ask that question to myself, I may come to the conclusion like, oh, you arrived here because this was somebody that you had actually dealt with before and it didn't work. And you guys tried again. You see what I'm saying? So I can say, yeah, we probably shouldn't have tried again. Like, I should have just said no after the other times. But I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, again, it doesn't mean that is the undeniable, factual truth no matter what. That's a whole perspective shift as well, to even look at it that way. But I think that in shifting your perspective, it allows you to look at things in a more calm and healthy way. And then from there, you can decide like, all right, this is how I'm going to kind of live with this information from here on out. And in living with it in that way, if you're still able to do the things you need to do, be productive, make sure you're spending time with your family, make sure you're spending time with friends, make sure you're in your purpose, make sure you still have your prayer life popping, make sure you're still like on your assignment, then why not? I say adopt a new story, boo. Nothing wrong with a new story. There's nothing wrong with a new story. And then the great thing about, this perspective shift, you don't even have to stick with it. If you need to, think about it again, reflect on it again in 6 months, you may have new perspective. So it doesn't have to be fixed and stay there forever and ever, amen. But I do encourage you to do it if you find that you're stagnant and unable to move. All right, so hopefully that helps. And again, sorry for the noise in the beginning on this beautiful, it's kind of beautiful as I look out the window, snow day. I'm going to get ready for my event tomorrow. I'm recording the event tomorrow that's going to be posted February 1st. The first of every month we record a live video with a guest, so I'm really excited about that. So I have this new ring light thing, which is way more kind of advanced than the last thing I had. So I'm going to mess around with that later today, and then just get some work done to close out this Friday and get ready for hopefully a peaceful weekend. But enjoy your weekend, and I'll talk to you guys soon. I wish you lots of fun, laughter, abundance in your life. Peace.